Yo, 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 welcome back. This is your homeboy Freddy Freeze Lopez back again. This time, as you can see right in front of me, either you know or you don't, but you will. If you know, you know. It's a big gentleman right here in front of me, Mr. I call him Mr. King. He's got a lot of names that a lot of people know him by, but I know him as Mr. King, good friend of mine. And he's been around the soccer game for long, long time. If you know about magic, you know what magic is. So for all the brothers and who've been around since the early '70s, I would say they would know about him. Young, great player, one of the good ones around that I've seen play, and I used to go watch. My dad used to go watch him when I was a kid. So it just tells you how long he's been around. Now, enough of me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and we'll take it. We'll talk a little bit about soccer, his timeline, the teams he played for. We'll talk about World Cup coming up in Toronto, what it means to him, to me. We've been around the game for a long time, and to have a host such an event in Toronto, I think it's epic. I think it's only once in a lifetime that it happens. So, let's make the
Yeah.
best of it and have fun. Go ahead.
All right, Freddie Freeze.
Yes, sir.
Big up to you for asking and reaching out. I'm honored to work with you, man. Wow. So, well, I'll say mid 70s. I came here in 1976 from Jamaica. And, there was a big football culture in the Caribbean people diaspora in Toronto. So, it was where we could come out and be together because we're in a whole new country full of, for us as white people, we don't even know Wagwan, we
Yeah.
leave a country of black people and come here. Um, so one of the ways we could pass the time was playing football and music,
Correct,
you
correct.
know. So, um, yeah, so I hooked up with West Indies United the first year I came here. They had won in 1973. Like I think they won the Canada Cup, Ontario Cup. They beat everybody in Canada,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and a very famous bunch of players. And they were recently honored, maybe just last year, for
Mm-hmm.
their contribution to football in Canada.
Okay.
So a lot of those guys on that team were my mentors. I was like 16 years old when I got here.
Wow. 16 years old.
So I'm balling with adult men, which is
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to that from Jamaica anyway,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and ended up playing for a whole lot of years in this country, playing in pretty much every single league.
Mm-hmm.
Where I hooked up with you and your pops was probably in the Spanish league,
Yes.
and
Now
I
Caledonia.
played for Donna Caledonia. So I played for I think it was Independiente,
Oh yeah.
and I
Okay.
and I also played with Chile Lindo, I think it was called.
Wow. Yeah. Down at Lamport Stadium, right?
Lamport Stadium, Brock Stadium,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and Caledonia.
Oh wow.
So
Yes.
that's where most of the football was happening. And yeah, so the thing I find with soccer, football, is that when people come from a totally different culture, the one language we can speak is playing good football.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
If we
true.
can play, we can get along.
Yeah. So
So
true.
I was fortunate enough to play with some of them brothers from all countries around the world. It's
Mm-hmm.
Italy, Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
Chile, Brazil, like
Mm-hmm.
anybody. I played, and of course, I played for Caribbean teams as well,
Mm-hmm.
including our West Indies United,
Mm-hmm.
which was mostly Jamaica, and Irie Soccer Club. Them was
Mm-hmm.
mostly Trinidadian.
Okay.
And of course, I played with Magic Soccer Club and coach Magic for a minute.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, football, and music.
Yeah. Yeah. Now in terms of music, I know you have you represent Canadian Reggae World. Can you explain that? Can you explain a bit of that for me? What's the movement about?
So Yeah, I used to manage a reggae band back in the day called Ibadan,
Okay.
and we used to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And back in those days, in the 90s now, we're thinking that if we make good music and get it on the radio and all this
Mm-hmm.
good stuff, we have a chance of being picked up by a wonderful record label because we're so great
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and blah, blah, blah. But the reality of the music industry is a whole lot different than your personal expectations.
Correct.
So when we released an album, can't remember what year this was now, but we released the album, and I realized there was no real place in Toronto, Canada, to promote reggae music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So on about, I'd say, yeah, I would say 2000, 2001, 2002. I started a thing called Canadian Reggae World.com,
Okay.
so I could use it to promote my band's album, but
Mm-hmm.
also other artists in Canada. Like
Correct.
one place for people to come to learn about reggae in Canada, and one place to come to for the
Mm-hmm.
artists to show their music to the world.
Correct.
So that was the concept I had in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing it now since 2000, so maybe 25 years,
Wow.
26 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah. And as you can tell, this Canadian marketplace is pretty difficult to break through as an immigrant and
Mm-hmm.
Caribbean people and reggae music and them thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, them not really love way, but them don't love way. You understand? Them don't
No, I get you. I
they
get you.
can benefit from the culture and the music, but you
It's
know,
about,
we
yeah, it's
don't,
about benefit. Correct.
yeah, we don't seem to reap the financial rewards for our talent.
Correct.
And it has been so from like probably reggae's greatest um performer slash keyboard player Jackie Matul was
Mm-hmm.
here, lived here,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
performed here,
Okay.
made music here. This man is an international superstar and couldn't crack the code here in Canada. Neither could Leroy Sibbles, who is
Mm-hmm.
famously known for the
Mm-hmm.
bass lines he did in Studio One and all them thing there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So them man they couldn't break through here. And so the rest of us come, we live here
Mm-hmm.
and we celebrate. And I mean, as much as I speak of the negativity of
Mm-hmm.
bigotry and racism in this country, I
Mm-hmm.
also recognize the wonderful opportunities we have
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
making music in this country because
Correct.
we have access to equipment and technology, studios and international outlets that many in Jamaica don't have access to.
Don't have access to. Correct.
So we, as much as I speak of the negatives, I also speak of the positives. And there are things like factor grants and other grants and things
Mm-hmm.
to help artists to make music, to make albums and
Mm-hmm.
marketing budgets and all these things that don't exist from where I come from. So
Correct.
Canada great at making music, which is I find the culture isn't great at marketing the music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then it's not just reggae. It's hip hop. It's
And
soul music.
oh, I know it's in
It's
general.
what them call yeah. It's what them call urban music. You know.
That's true. So true. So true. Well, that's
Yeah.
it's a. I think it's a good thing you're doing about for reggae music. We got to keep it going. You know, it's your passion, so we got to support that. You know, it's something we love to do. I mean, I grew up with it myself. You know, growing up at JFH. So you know that's part of our culture. And now I'm going back to soccer now. Thank you for talking about your reggae, uh, Canadian reggae. Now going back to your soccer times, wanted to ask you what position did you play, and what made you play that position?
Well, now, so I was a most of the time I was that midfield general, that guy in the middle of the field.
So you had a
In
vision.
the early days, I could